Hello guys, welcome back to the First Half podcast. We're here to discuss football as usual. Today we're here to discuss the top 5 players who have highly disappointed in the EPL season. So yes, day in, day out, any season, we realize that there are players that perform exceptionally well, and we're always expecting them that coming the next season, they do perfectly well. But in some way, somehow, the next season comes up and you realize that these players never show up. And we have weird players who actually come out and actually do the best. Now, today we are here to discuss these players who didn't do that well, or these players that we're expecting so much from them that we didn't get what we were expecting. I'm here with my brother.
Dennis?
Yeah, Charlie Dennis, how are we?
I'm good.
Yeah. So we had another session of 2024-2025 season of the EPL. We've had ups and downs, highs and lows. Liverpool was first. Obviously, I had to mention that.
I mean, you never forget.
Yes. But there are some players that we're expecting so much from.
Yeah.
There are players that we know that in an EPL, when they are playing their games, you know that at least Anya Charlie, some goal or even an assist, you'd be expecting that. But these players did woefully terrible.
Yeah.
And then I want us to discuss them.
Well,
I mean, it's something that is quite disappointing sometimes because these players that we mentioned are players that when they are to perform, it really affects the outcome of the position of the club at the end of the season.
True.
So let me know your take on that and some of the players you think that you want us to discuss.
Well, I think it's fair. I think there are players that usually you look at their own standards to judge. You know that there are certain consistencies they're able to produce. Sometimes too, although they are new entrants in the season, you look at what they provided over the previous season and you try to say, okay, they're going to build up on it. So when it doesn't happen, you don't have any choice than to call it a flop season. One of the players that really shocked me this season would have been the former or last year's Premier League Player of the Year.
Yeah, the darling
that was Phil Foden from City. This season, he looks like a shadow of himself. And we've had a lot of players that have come in this way. You know, we've always said that when it comes to the English hype, they need to try not to put as much pressure on these players. They had the same situation with Dele Alli, whereby we hyped him to the point where gradually he faded away to the point where right now you don't even know whether his football career is still ongoing.
I found in one of the
teams. So Foden is a very exciting player in City. There have been arguments that Pep has stifled his development, but I mean, he recently came out to say that he's been battling with some personal psychological issues, which has basically given him a toll or shown on the pitch. In terms of what he's shown this season, I think it's been quite underwhelming. He's also not played a lot of games, and I'm sure that is Pep. I mean, if you are not on top of your game, obviously he's not going to feature you. Foden, I mean, showing up in all competitions, scoring just 7 goals is, I think, really below the expectations. And I don't know what you think. Do you think Pep has a hand in it in terms of his style of play, or it's just on the player?
I think there are 2 things. One, the hype is also a factor. You know, the English media will give you all expectations. Expectation is very high. Then it really affects you as a player because then you're not yourself. You're a bit jittery when you're on the ball and whatnot. But the one thing that will play like a high percentage is what he openly spoke about is his mental health issues, which will really affect you when it's not well managed on and off the pitch. And I think that it's quite weird and strange that Phil Foden, bagging in all those goals, Premier League Player of the Season, comes back this season and performs this bad. So I think these things played a role. And of course, when it happens that way, the coach has no choice but to let you sit down for some time. And the less games you play, the more it affects your confidence on the pitch. So even when you have the chance to come on, you're not able to perform as much as you expected. Because I know Foden used to have the ball, turn around and shoot. Foden would dash for the ball and whatnot. But if you realize the strategy in Man City now, Pep has brought in his replacement. So his style of play doesn't necessarily need Foden anymore if you really watch the game. So it's very unfortunate, but I think the number of goals he scored this season as compared to last season, it's something that raises eyebrows. And I believe that he's one of the players that has performed woefully bad this particular season.
There seems to be more going on because even, he actually requested for the England coach not to call him for the just... So it means that probably there's more going on
behind the scenes.
Because, I mean, for a player, a national cup is something that everybody seems to look forward to. People are excited and wait for the call-up. But for you to request not to even be considered, I don't know whether it's because he knew he was not going to be called anyway, or he was just looking at protecting himself and taking time off to be able to build himself up. I hope he can come back stronger, because I think he's one of the few talents that the English game has, and it would be good to still have him in there, because if City is losing Grealish, and I think he's actually been from the academy.
Yeah.
So they will want to hold on to him and help him through whatever he's going through to come back stronger. Because you don't win the Premier League Player of the Season if you are not good.
Yeah.
So that cannot have been a fluke. So I guess that whatever is affecting him will be actually something significant.
I'm just hoping things get much better for him. Sometimes people, young players like that are players that we are hoping that they go a very long time in their career and do very well. So we are hoping for the best for Phil Foden, but he performed badly. That's our opinion. Okay.
Yeah.
So we are looking at Arsenal.
Arsenal, yes.
We're looking at Arsenal. We're looking at Arsenal because the man who leads this team hasn't performed as we expected. And we're talking about their captain, Martin Odegaard.
Martin Odegaard, yes.
Martin Odegaard, the season before, was very instrumental with his assists, with his goal scoring and whatnot. But this season, I don't know if we should blame it on his injury or it's just that he just didn't show up when it was expected. Because in a national team, if Martin Odegaard is working, if Martin Odegaard is present, if he shows up, 90% chance Arsenal will win the game.
True.
Yeah. So I don't know. What do you think went bad this particular season?
Well, 3 goals and 8 assists, I think it's a low return.
Yeah.
But Odegaard has not been known for his goal scoring. I think it's mostly his creativity and what he's able to create for the team. With his injury coupled with Saka's injury, because most of his assists are to Saka, because they built a very good partnership. That you can see that they're able to at least score. I mean, goals within the total. That chemistry was really going. But this season, I think he's fallen off. The entire Arsenal team, when it comes to attack, has actually not shown up the way that we expected. And it looks as if that if he doesn't connect with Saka, the striker and the other winger on the left, for some reason, he's not able to really create much for them. And so, for me, Odegaard is an exceptional talent. I mean, he came from Real Madrid, and you can see that there's something in there. And like you said, the periods that he's shown up, obviously they do win the games. And I'm hoping that if Arsenal are able to bring in a quality striker, Odegaard could be able to step up his game and be able, because you know, as a creative player, you're as good as who is ahead of you. If you are not able to find them in the right spot to be there, and able to find space for themselves so that you can pick them up, obviously, no matter how good you are going to struggle. Someone that De Bruyne knows that, okay, if I get the ball, this is the movement that Haaland is going to make. So I need to just put it there with his pace, he's getting to get there, or whatever. Wherever you find him, he'll be able to find space for himself. So if you are not getting that from your striker and your other winger, apart from Saka, obviously your assists are going to suffer. And so some of the times too, you know, the assists are not fair, because obviously you may have given the right pass, but the person just didn't convert. So then the judgment will be on you that you didn't give more assists. I always have that with Cole Palmer. He creates so much opportunities, but Jackson is not finishing his dinner. So at the end of the day, when the stats come, Cole Palmer had minimum assists. But for you know, it's not his choice. He actually did his job, just that the person ahead of him didn't do his job. But all in all, I think Odegaard's creativity has actually dropped, because if you compare to last season, he was really, his goal contributions were higher, but this time around it has dropped. So he needs to step up, and it's actually disappointing if you judge it on last season's performance.
I think it's because if you watch, like you were saying, and which is very true, you know, most of the time we judge players by the number of goals they score.
Exactly.
But his contribution in the game is not necessarily about scoring goals. Of course, in the season that he took about 48 shots. 17 of them were on target. The one thing that we should take note of, like you've said, how he connects the team in his presence. Because he had about 83% accurate passes in the season, which is quite very impressive. You know, so we are hoping that things get much better. We are not saying he flopped that bad, but we're saying that for his performance as compared in the standards, I think he did bad.
One thing I also want to, talking about the players ahead of you. If you're a creative player in the middle, number 10, your striker needs to make movements that will create space for you.
Good runs, yeah.
Exactly. But if as Arsenal has never had a threatening striker, so because the defenders have time to focus on what do you call it? Odegaard. So which means that more players get a chance to actually close him down before he's able to create. But if you have a striker that defenders have to worry about, you, the number 10, you only have to deal with the DM. If you're able to find good spaces, the DM alone cannot contend with you. So that also would have been something
that's a very brilliant point, which is very, very true.
Yes,
very, very true. So okay, all right. So let's see. Yeah, one of the players that in the EPL has always been looked up to, because at a particular point he was one of the top strikers. You know, coupled with his assistant or his deputy, who was Kane, who had left him. We're looking at Song. Tottenham.
Human Song. Yeah, the Korea maestro.
Yeah, Human Song's performance has been very poor. Looking at his stats for previous seasons. This season we didn't find him when it mattered most. And I was thinking that at a certain point where Tottenham was struggling with numbers, with goals and all that, he was going to be the one to rescue them. But for some weird reason, at a certain point, I even forgot that Son was a Tottenham player. Because this season he didn't show up. 7 goals in the whole season for Son. Son used to score about 3 or 4 goals in a game.
True.
So a whole season for 7 goals. I don't know what your take is with him.
Well, you see, there are people who say that loyalty in the game is gone away. And sometimes as a player, you have to think about yourself. Son comes from a culture where loyalty is really key. That's with the Koreans and all that. The culture is rich. And for me, when Kane left, I think he should have also moved on.
You think so?
Yeah. Son in another team would have been fantastic because of the new opportunity, new environment and everything. But he decided to stick around. They made him captain. Postecoglou's style of play may not have really helped him because obviously it actually sort of stifled something from his game. He looks like a shadow of the player that he's always been. Son consistently will give you 15 goals in a season, minimum. And this season, he looks a bit not interested. He's not able to convert chances that you expect him to take on. Sometimes the energy in the place. All the players he used to play with, as in Kane, Eriksen, Dele Alli, Dembele, all these guys this was the Tottenham of. He's actually one of the old guys that is left. And I think now the dressing room is new and all that, and he has to lead with a coach who doesn't seem to be flexible. He's so rigid on a certain philosophy, meaning that he will tell you, if he says stand here, that's where you have to stand, otherwise. So I think loyalty has not really been fair to Son. And it's obvious that he's an amazing professional. And he's somebody that you can't help but love. I can see that the Tottenham fans,
they love him.
They adore him.
They adore him.
And you can't ask for a better captain who will have morals than Son. So I think he's one person who is actually going to benefit a lot from the change in management. Thomas Frank is good with attacks, and he's shown that he's able to give wingers the opportunity to make goals. If you see what he's done with Wissa and Mbeumo, you can see that then Son is going to have a field day, because
I think Son is still going to be at Tottenham the next year.
He's a captain. He'll be there. He'll be there. So I think definitely once he's there, Thomas Frank has shown that he's a coach that can use wingers very well. And Son, with his expertise, I believe he's better than both Mbeumo and Wissa. He's shown it a lot in the APL. And he may actually next season surprise all of us.
Well, let's see how it goes, because he's somebody that I really respect his character and attitude when it comes to the football game. So we hope for the best for him. So, yes. So we want to talk about Manchester United striker Højlund. Højlund.
Rasmus Højlund.
I personally have always said that his performance this season has not really been that good. And on any day, I wouldn't rate his performance good, because for a Manchester United striker to wear a shirt of a Manchester United and be a striker and to have 4 goals in a season, it's unacceptable.
He has 2 assists, 2 plays added.
It's unacceptable. So I really don't know what the reason would be for such a performance. Is it really about his personal effort? Is it about the players he's surrounded with? Is he not being fed with the ball well enough for him to perform? I mean, holistically, I think that for a player in the Manchester United shirt who's supposed to be striking and getting them goals, this performance is not accepted.
I think you hit the nail right on the head. That if you look at the caliber of players who have come into the striker position of Manchester United, it is something that is going to outweigh you for a young player like him. I don't know what they looked at before they brought him in, because I mean, you cannot compare wherever he was playing before to the EPL, let alone to come and lead Manchester United as a first striker. And the money they spent on him, we're talking about north of 70 million. And since he's coming, you can see that he's not ready. I won't say he's not good, because he makes the movements and everything, but you can see he's not ready, because he's somebody who should still be understudying a main striker. But for you to put him as the main striker
too much pressure
and being assisted by Zexi, that should tell you that, I mean, it's a problem. So that is why I always say that whoever is doing the scouting at United needs to be questioned, because I don't know whether they saw City has Haaland, so they also decided, let's get Haaland, so that at least it's close enough. So that they also said that it's close enough, because the boy has come in and he seems to, I mean, he gets the ball and he's fumbling, he's falling on his feet. Sometimes it gets a bit pathetic.
It gets a bit pathetic.
And if you look at the names that have come, Nistelrooy and all these guys have come ahead of him. Exactly, you can see that they have really put him in a very bad position, and it's not fair on him, because they could actually destroy his career, because his confidence may never be able to ride. But to be fair to him, he's always there trying. He's actually running. You can see that he's actually putting in the effort, but the quality is just not there.
He tries very hard.
You can see him putting on, and you see, very hard, sometimes you need a coach to put his arm around you and say, relax, just enjoy the game. But you know, when your team is losing for fun, it gets to a point where the pressure is on you, because you need to deliver goals. And it looks like he's just not cut out for it, you know. So I don't know what they are going to do, whether they are going to just replace him, or they are going to bring in a big striker and let him understudy him for another season or two. Because when you're talking, he said this season, since he's been in there, it's been woeful. And there's nothing that shows that there are signs of improvement. So that is where,
I think he should be replaced. I mean,
so if you look at it, even Jackson's figures are better than him, and that is quite something. Okay.
All right then. So there's another Manchester United player who we feel as though that, I mean, he scored some amazing goals against my team. You know, but this season, Kobe Mainoo, the player in question, has not been able to show up.
Okay.
I mean, he's had the opportunity to play about 25 games in a season. And I think his goals, none. You know, and for me, he was one of the guys or the boys we were looking at to actually explode in the next season, because the season before, I mean, he was all over the place. And this season, he went flat. You know, I don't know what your take is.
Mainoo's case is a bit different, because I feel Amorim doesn't trust him as much as Ten Hag did. So he's not had a lot of opportunities, because even the 25 games, we have to look at how many he started.
The injury also was.
He got injured. But Amorim has not trusted him the way Ten Hag did, because you could see that Ten Hag gradually was trusting the younger ones, because he felt like the older ones were letting him down. And Mainoo was brought in there to basically be the big.
Ten Hag was trusting the younger ones. What happened to Ahmad during Ten Hag?
I don't know what went on there, but you could see that he was bringing in the young lads as much as possible. And we come back to this whole thing about the English hype, because Mainoo started doing very well. I hear old players like Paul Scholes make comments like he remembers, he reminds him of Zidane and all these kind of things, you know, and this affects the court. It puts too much pressure on the boys.
No, but these are just subtle opinions.
They are not. You see, someone like Paul Scholes who played in the midfield, his opinion carries weight. He didn't play for any midfield than Manchester United. But the
point he was making that comment, Mainoo was really performing.
Yes, that's the point. So the fact that it puts pressure on the person to keep a certain standard that he's not ready for. Mainoo is playing behind Casemiro, playing behind Bruno, playing behind Eriksen. These are all seniors of the game, and he should have time to grow into the game. So a 20 minutes here, a 30 minutes there. But it goes to a point, a full game is put on his shoulders, and he performs. But over time, look at Cole Palmer. Young players will always dip at some point, but that's how you learn your trade.
Yeah.
You know, no matter who you are, you cannot be top forever. You come down, sometimes you dip, then you have to work and go up there again. And it looks like that's what has caught up with him.
Yeah.
This season, he's not shown up much because of injuries and also not playing a lot of games. So that one you got. And from what I'm hearing, he could even be sold because Manchester United may be looking for pure profits, and he's one of the assets they have that could actually help them generate enough sales because whatever comes in is pure profit. And it will be sad because he's from the academy and he's somebody that you can see that there's potential in there. So if you lose him to another team and you see him performing, it will really be damning.
He will perform.
And I hope
that
they find a way to keep him and at least give him another season to show that he can deliver the goods.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think if Amorim has any plans of turning things around, he should really have hope in some of these young guys that he has.
True.
Because they are the ones who will be ready to kill themselves for the team. Not the old lads who have already seen it all, been there, done that. You know, so some of these guys should be given a second chance. Regardless, 2024, 2025 season, Kobe Mainoo performed badly.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think that with time, he might improve as well. Yeah. So yes, guys, these are our take on the performance of the guys that we think that should have done much better this season, but they didn't do too well. But the comment section is always available. Let us know what you think. I'm sure the other players that you're expecting so much from that they didn't do that well. That is what we think, what you think. Cheers.
Bye-bye.